Hi, I'm Anthony from Internet Geography. I'm going to take you through the steps of using Google Forms to create an interactive quiz for students to complete. To begin with, you need to log into your Google account and head over to Google Drive, which is drive.google.com. If we click the new icon in the top left, and if we select Google Forms, this creates a new form for us to use for our quiz. So I'm going to create a coastal environments quiz, like so. I'll just put that in the title. And if I just go up to Untitled Form in the top left corner, if I just click that, then our quiz title gets transferred over, and that's the name of the form. Okay, so first thing we want to do is we want the students to identify who they are. So if we just put a name in there and then select short answer from our list of different question types, we're going to make that required so that the students must enter their name before they can submit their completed quiz. So we'll just click that over to required. I also want to capture the student's email address, so I'm just going to duplicate that question and then here I'm just going to input email, and you can see here that we've got enable email collection setting. So I'm just going to click that, and we can see that the form is now collecting email addresses up here. Next thing, we might want to look at the presentation of our quiz. Okay, this sort of standard purple colour isn't the most attractive, so if we go up to the customize theme icon, just click on that, and we can change the header. Here you can upload your own, or you can search through and find something that might be appropriate for the quiz. So in this case, let's have a look what we can find here. If we look on travel, okay, and there's a nice little coast pic there for that we can use. So I'm just going to click that and then select insert. Okay, that's created a nice little pretty heading for us. Okay, you can change the theme color by clicking these buttons here. Okay, and when you're happy with that, we can just close that option off. Okay, so we're going to start adding some questions to our quiz. So if we just click the little plus icon here for add question, and I've got some questions that have already been prepared. Okay, I've got a multiple choice booklet here that's available to Plus subscribers, and what I'm going to do is just copy the question like so, and then I'm going to paste that into here, and then pop back over to the answers. So if I copy those, just click on option 1, and then if I paste them in, and then I can see that all my possible answers are here. Okay, I am going to add another option here, and that option is not sure, and we do that really just to give the students the opportunity just to identify areas that they're really not sure about, and that's going to give us some really rich formative feedback so that we can actually support the students in those areas that they're not clear on. Okay, we're going to make the question required, so the students have to complete that question like so. What you'll notice is that the question has been inserted above the name, so I'm just going to simply drag that down and put it below like so. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is, this is a single choice answer for this question, so obviously the answer will be wind. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a question that has several possible answers. So here, identify the 2 types of wave that occur at the coast. Okay, and here I'm going to put destructive constructive, longshore drift, and I will also put in mass movement. Okay, so in this question the students are going to be able to pick a couple of answers. Now in order to enable that, we need to change from multiple choice to checkboxes, okay, so that the students can select more than one answer. Okay, so next we're going to have an open question, and that open question might be what causes waves, and then I'll change from checkboxes to short answer, and then the students can input a short answer here. Again, it's already selected as required, so we're quite happy with that. And then next we're going to create a paragraph answer. So in this case, explain why wave occur. Okay, and then the students can type a paragraph answer into there. So at the moment we have got a standard form. Okay, when the students, if the students were to complete this form and they'd submit it, we would be able to see their answers. However, the form wouldn't self-mark or give any kind of feedback. So what we're going to do now is we are going to convert this form into a quiz, and to do this we just click on the settings icon here and we go over to quizzes and we just select that checkbox to make this a quiz. Okay, you've got a couple of options here. You can either release the mark to the student immediately, so as soon as they've submitted their answers they will get immediate feedback, or you can turn on later, which basically enables you to do a manual review, to go through, check all their answers, and then let them know how they have performed. This is particularly useful if you've got open-ended questions, but if all of your questions are either multiple choice, single choice, or a short answer, then you're probably best sticking it on to immediately after each submission. If you've got extended questions on there, it's probably more likely that you're going to want to perform a manual review. So for this case we're just going to stick with immediately after each submission for the time being. So I'm just going to click save. Okay, let's go back to our first single choice question. So if I click on this, okay, we have now got a new icon at the bottom of the question which says answer key, and this option here, by clicking it, allows us to identify what the correct answer is. So what causes waves? Obviously it's the wind, so I've selected that, and I'm just going to allocate 1 point to that answer. Okay, next I would like to add some feedback to the students. So in this case, if I just click add answer feedback for incorrect answers, so I'm going to give the students some guidance here and let them know that waves are caused by wind blowing over the surface of the sea or ocean. Okay, what I can also do is I could add a YouTube video which explains how the formation of waves. So if I click that, it gives me the option of finding a YouTube video, so the students could watch that video if they got their answer wrong. What I can also do is I can add a link. So in this case, page here on Internet Geography, I'm just going to copy the URL and I'm going to click the link to button and then paste in that link there, and then I'm going to put find out more about the cause of waves. Alright, and then I'll just click add. Now for my correct answers, I'm just going to add some feedback. Well done. Waves are caused by the wind. I can also add links to a YouTube video or a web page. So in this case, I'm just going to put the same link back in there and want to find out more about the cause of waves. Okay, and again, click the add button and then I click save. And then we can see down below, there's the feedback for the correct answer. So students select wind. It says well done, waves are caused by the wind, and there's a link to find out more. And then if the students give the incorrect answer, we can let them know what causes waves, and then again the link for them to find out more. When I'm done, I just click done, and that's my first question done. So if I move on to this answer here, which is checkboxes, and we know that we've got more than one correct answer, again just click on the answer key and I'm going to select destructive and constructive, and I'm going to give 2 marks for this answer if they get them both correct. And then once more I can click my add feedback, and I can, if the students give the incorrect answers, I can give them some formative feedback. So in this case, the 2 main types of wave are destructive and constructive. Okay, like so. And again, I could choose to put a link to give a little bit more detail about what destructive and constructive waves are. Okay, I showed you how to do that previously, we won't repeat that. If they get the correct answers, well done, constructive and destructive, and the 2 main types of wave. Okay, and then again I click save, click done, and we can see we've got our 2 little ticks to show what the correct answers are there. So if I move on to our next question, which is a short answer question, again if I click answer key, I'm going to allocate 1 point for getting this answer correct, and I'm going to add a series of different correct answers here. So if I put the wind, and then I'm going to repeat that, but this case with a lowercase because Google Forms is case sensitive when it's marking answers. I could just put wind, and so on. Okay. What I could also do is I could mark all other answers incorrect. So if the students put something in like tides, then the answer would be marked as being incorrect. If I don't put that mark in there, later I could go through, review the answers, and I could allocate marks if the students had put the correct answer but different to what the possible options are here. Again, add answer feedback. Okay, so in this case, wind causes waves, and again I can put my little link in here and find out more. Click add, click save, and so again in this case there's the possible there's the feedback for the answer and the link for the students to find out a little bit more. If I click done. Now in the case of a long answer, this is probably something that you're going to want to go through and check manually. So in this case, this could be a 4-mark question, so I'm going to allocate 4 potential points to it. Add answer feedback. Again, I could give a model answer in here to show the students the kind of things I would be expecting them to say. Now because I have got an extended answer here, it might be a good idea for me to actually manually review the answers for the students, because they're not going to write exactly the same paragraph as my example answer. So I'm just going to click save on that so that I can go through manually and check the answers. Okay. So we're now in the position of, we've got our quiz. Okay, we've got a series of questions there. You're probably going to want to add more different types of questions. There's a few other features that we can add to the questions. So for example, if I click add question here, I can add a photograph. So for example, if I just go to photos, okay, and if I just select this photograph, this is from my Google Drive, and it shows a photograph, and then I could just put identify the coastal management technique shown in the image. Okay, and so here I could put seawall, rock armour, revetment. Okay, again I could add that option for not sure on this question. Okay, obviously this needs to be a required question because I want the students to have a go at it. Again, we'll pop the answer key on. I'm going to give 1 mark for this. We've got some rock armour in the image, and then again we could add some answer feedback. Okay, I'm not going to put it on in this case because I've already demonstrated how to do that previously. Of course, we could talk about the fact that there's a rock groin here as well, so I could add that as an answer, and I could change the question type to checkboxes, so the students can add more than 1. Okay, if you're teaching in a department with other colleagues whose students will also be taking the quiz, it's probably quite useful to add the option for the students to identify who their teacher is, and then that way when all the data eventually makes its way into a spreadsheet, then you'll be able to sort that data and teachers will be able to see the performance of students within their class. So what we're going to do here then is we're just going to duplicate name, and we're going to change that to class. We're going to make it a multiple choice, and it might be Mr. Smith 11A1, Mr. Smith 11A2, Mrs. Jones 11A3, and Miss Patel 11A4. Okay, so the students will now be able to choose who their teacher is, and then that will be useful later on when we're going through and reviewing the performance of the students. Okay, well, we're pretty much in the position where our quiz is ready to be shared with the students. So to do this, we just click on the preview icon and it opens up the quiz in a new tab for us. We can just quickly go through and just check and make sure that there's an asterisk next to all those questions that the students need to answer. So if we go through, yeah, that's looking pretty good. So all we do now is just copy the URL from the top, and then we can share that with our students either via email or via VLE or whatever tool you're using with your students. In our next video, we are going to explore what we can do with the data once students have completed the quiz. If you found this useful, please click the subscribe button and you'll be notified of future videos that we upload to the Internet Geography YouTube account.